This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Look, I was front and center for the Minion craze when it swept the world in 2010. My kids were obsessed with them, and honestly, I kinda loved them too. But Disney Dan, the Minions aren't Disney characters. You can't make a video on them. Listen, I am the Chuckle King, the keeper of all mascot history, and I deem this a grand topic, so we shall cover it. So get your fart guns ready, everyone. We're about to go bananas. Yeah, we have to turn it off. It's like, because this isn't a Disney video, we had to turn it off like the bat signal. You know what I mean? Like, you know that fake story about Walt and the light in Disneyland and how all that's nonsense? Well, my light's real. And when it's not a Disney video, the light goes out. Yeah, that Disneyland candle thing is a total lie. Now, many of you likely know, but for those who don't, what is a minion? Well, these simple little tic-tac shaped henchmen will willingly serve any master evil enough. These things are crazy and weird. They speak a polyglot language made up by the creators of the franchise, Pierre Coffin and Chris Renaud, who were inspired by Star Wars Jawas and Wonka's Oompa Loompas. You know, like all those tiny little iconic pop culture minions. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're real. I literally have their IMDb's linked. Starting off as just background supporting characters for the first movie, they have since launched into theme park lands, restaurants, spin-off movies, digital shorts, and a mountain of toys. The first appearance of the Minion mascot comes in 2010 at the yellow carpet premiere of Despicable Me. The costumes themselves are simple and extremely small. Comparing them to the people they're standing around at the premiere, you can really see how tight of a squeeze these little costumes are. Now, I like these costumes a lot. They have a lot of personality. Inside the costume, there are small handles that allow the performer to move the arms in a very static up and down motion. So it just adds like sort of the franticness of the Minions. It's perfect. Originally, they made 4 different Minion designs that they translated into costumes. Dave, Stuart, Carl, and Kevin. Carl, of course, is the extra thick boy over there in the corner who looks like an AirPod case. Overall, these costumes are super clunky, but incredibly effective, especially in mass. They made a lot of these things. This initial gang of Minions was used to aggressively promote the film, even appearing the same year at the 84th Thanksgiving Macy's Parade on the Statue of Liberty float. There are like an army of them walking down the streets of New York. It's terrifying. Universal Studios quickly capitalized on the Minion craze and in 2012 opened their first Minion attraction, Minion Mayhem. And this ride was in 4D, baby. You know what that 4th dimension was? Farts. Seriously, this is the fartiest ride ever. Kenny would love it. To expand on the guest offering, several costume characters from the film were made, including Gru himself, along with his 3 adopted girls, and a brand new upgraded Minion look that set the foundation for almost every costume going forward. The body of these new costumes had a much cleaner silhouette, and the facial features were upgraded to include an open mouth, detailed goggles, and gloves with leather material, plus a much bolder and detailed iris. That theme park polish really improved these mascots and gave a ton of life to the streets of Universal Studios. Seriously, there's so much personality in each of these individual little guys. It must have been super fun partying with them. This ride's like right inside the ticket gate at Orlando. As soon as you walk in, you're just assaulted by Minions. These little Minions became like the mascot of Universal Studios. Quite honestly, they became the mascot of Comcast once they bought Illumination, the studio that made them. Once these costumes hit theme parks, the core design became pretty consistent across the board. And as a result, Minions made multiple appearances throughout Universal Parks over the past decade as parade floats, or special parade unit performances, or weird props in parades. So here's just like a quick montage of all that insanity, because it's too much. It's too much to cover, guys. So here's a little bit of, a be-doo, because there's a lot of that.
So bright and yellow, can't look.
Exhausted now? Great. There's so many more Minion costumes to come. The Universal costumes went on tour the following year to promote the next film, Despicable Me 2, in 2013. The new film had the same cast of Minion characters, so we really didn't see a ton of variety for this press tour, but here is a great time for me to talk about Steve Carell's appearance in full prosthetic special effects makeup as Gru on now canceled Ellen. Oh, I just mentioned Ellen in the video. Now we're demonetized. Now the whole channel's gonna get taken down.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. 50 Shades of Ellen. Over in Universal Studios Hollywood, a very special Minion meet and greet debuted in 2015. Meet the evil purple Minion monster, complete with overlong arms that drag on the ground behind him, a thick purple bushy hairdo, and a strong underbite with some wild teeth. I love the energy of this Minion in the parks. It's such a strong contrast to the normal design. These mutilated little Minions were a riot in the movie, and kids love them, so it made perfect sense to finally bring them to the parks. And my God, they're just chaos in the parks. They're just, you thought the Minions were chaos. Well, wait until you remove their neutral good, and they just turn into bitey little monsters. It's wild. He continually jump scares people in the parks, which I love. Everyone's like, oh, it's just a mascot. And he lunges at them. In 2015, the Minions got their own movie, Minions. Stuart, Bob, and Kevin were the heavily featured Minions, and they were all over the yellow carpet for this movie's premiere. The costumes saw one big giant change, and that's the goggles on the eyes, which are now noticeably larger, filling in a lot more of the costume's face. Bob had a special design for this movie that gave him 2 colored pupils, and that was reflected in an update of the promotional costumes used for the film. It has a fancy name. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Heterochromia. Yeah, that's when you have 2 different eyeball colors, and you look cool. Bob, of course, also at some point in the movie takes over the entire British government, of course, making him King Bob, and they reflected that in the costumes by making the cutest little crown and cape. Look how cute he is. Oh, everyone just loves King Bob. King Bob! Kenny, I'm telling you, man, you will love these movies. You have to give them a chance. Interestingly, about these costumes specifically is that the Gru G is removed from all of the overalls because it's the prequel, obviously, and otherwise the design and polish of these costumes more or less remains the same. After their new appearance at the yellow carpet debut, Bob, with his new colored eyes, became a regular at Universal theme parks. Despicable Me 3 in 2017, of course, sent Gru on a path for good, which left our tiny little psychotic Minions in jail. So there are some new jailbird costumes made to promote the film, as well as a vacation set of outfits for the post-jail breakout vibes of the movie. I love these guys because the jail Minions met at Universal Studios, and then the vacation guys were over at Volcano Bay partying over by the beach. And just perfect set of costumes, man. Look, they're gorgeous, and I love it. I love the vacation outfits with their fanny packs and the giant straw Mr. Beast hat. I've got one of those, and yeah, I just love these guys. I love this little outfit plussing. It's super cute. And now we're really seeing Universal and Illumination in general lean into putting the Minions in costumes. They are dressing up these Minions in all kinds of fun things now, and that trend is just going to continue. For the Halloween season of 2018, the Minions go wild with new costumes for a featured show in Universal Studios Singapore. And my gosh, look at these incredibly spoopy cute Halloween outfits. We've got Frank and Bob. He's just a little Frankenstein man. We got Mummy Stewart. He's so disappointed to be the mummy because that's the lamest monster. You got Dracula Kevin. He's just such a cool dude. He just lures you in with his charm. I love it. We got the werewolf purple Minion monster who's just chaos, just pure chaos. I just want to squeeze him. We've got Bride of Minion. I'm obsessed with this costume variation. Universal Studios knocks it out of the park when it comes to Halloween variants for their costumes. We saw that in SpongeBob, now we're seeing it here. It's incredible. The following year in 2019, Universal Parks also, all over the globe, started leaning into Minion Christmas. There is no war on Christmas. There is Minion Christmas. If you ever needed evidence that Christmas is doing okay, there is now a series of Minion Christmas events at every Universal Studios park. There are so many variants of these Christmas Minions that I'm not even going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to talk about the Christmas tree one because he's my favorite. Look at the Christmas tree. He's adorable. Also, I don't mind Rudolph Minion with nose so bright because Minions don't have noses, and I'm specifically interested in the fact that they put a Rudolph nose on it. I have so many more questions have suddenly opened up. I didn't think Minions had nostrils, but I guess they're just copying our culture, right? Minions are appropriating Rudolph, and they got to put a nose on him, I guess. Since we're talking about holiday Minions, I suppose it's also important to share with you that Minions are bizarrely Christian. I don't know why Minions are celebrating Easter, and also just raises questions. Perhaps they are hatched from eggs because they're like the perfect size. Weird shaped eggs, of course, but they're like the perfect size to put in an egg. I don't know. You know what? We can't even talk about it. We can't even get into it. The Minions spawn from the sea, and they have just existed. Minions don't die. They're not born. They just are. They just exist. They came out of the ocean, immediately had shame, and put like leaves on their private parts. Like that was instantly given to them by God as shame. They also just dress like humans and go to Costco in the first movie and are just wandering around dressed just like normal people. So Luchador steals all the Minions, begins to turn them to his own Minion monsters. There's like a Minion monster face-off, there's an antidote, but then they inadvertently meet a young baby Gru in the audience who's just a clone of Gru, but he wears white and has blonde hair. Yeah, there's like a literal, there's like a robot in disguise Transformer battle. There's this one part where there's a giant sombrero full of guacamole, but the sombrero is made of chips. And so you can like break off part of your hat and dip it in your own hat. Rise of Gru, the Minions 2022 sequel, took us to the groovy 70s and gave us all kinds of fun overlays for my favorite Minion men. I love all of them, including Stuart with his continual grumpy little face. He's just always so disappointed. It's incredible. But he's wearing rainbow suspenders and like giant noise canceling headphones. But here is where something really cool happened to the Minions. A whole new costume upgrade was given to them, and now suddenly the Minions can blink and move their eyes. Oh my gosh, it's a revelation. The Minions are now so much more interactable, and let me tell you something, this tiny little change is the world of difference for these mascots when you're meeting and greeting them. I'm obsessed. And to top it all off, Rise of Gru introduced us to a new Minion, Otto, the thick boy, who got his own costume, and my oh my. This just looks like when Violet chewed that bubble gum and turned into a giant blueberry in the Willy Wonka movie. Otto is such a thick boy. You know what? I've not met the Minion. No, I've never met a Minion. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that. You don't need an army of minions to build a website. You just need my friends over at squarespace.com who helped me build my website, Chuckle Kingdom. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Connect your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights all in one easy-to-use platform. Create a community on your Squarespace website with fully integrated commenting systems that support threaded comments, replies, and likes. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts too. Automatically push website content to your favorite social media channels so your followers can share it too. And don't forget to check out Squarespace's Fluid Engine, a next-generation website design system from Squarespace. It's never been easier to unlock your unbreakable creativity. Extend Squarespace's already powerful e-commerce capabilities with Squarespace extensions. These new third-party tools can help you manage your inventory, promote products, streamline bookkeeping, reconcile and file sales tax, and ship items across the globe. I was able to integrate a whole store into my website using Squarespace's powerful integrated tools. It is so easy to do. I can't believe I have a t-shirt store that's like mine, that like I'm running. It's crazy and easy. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DisneyDan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, Bada bee, bada boo. It's the end of the Minion evolution. Have you guys met Minions in the Universal Parks or out on promotional Minion tours or seen them on Good Morning America or whatever? The Minions are literally everywhere. Oh my gosh, there's so many Minions. So let me know across all the holy social media channels if you had a Minion experience. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Facebook, all of the fun places. And don't forget to check out our vlog, Please Stop Vlogging, where, Kenny and I do weird things, man. We're just weirdos over there. It's real wild. You should see the size of the whoopee cushion we have in one video. It's the largest whoopee cushion I've ever seen. Kenny and I are, dare I say, the Minions of theme park vlogging. We're just that chaotic good that is Minions energy. We're just stomping around, barely intelligible speaking, just stuffing our faces and searching for bananas. And serving our true one evil master lord, Bob Iger. All hail Bob. I didn't really focus too much on park infrastructure, but by the way, the Minions are literally taking over the parks now. Singapore is just about to open a brand new Minion land, and over in Orlando, Florida, they have a new Minion ride that has kicked off its own Minion land. Now they have Minion tater tots and Minion restaurants, and it's just a Minion party. Here's a video of Al Roker just talking to Minions on the street. Have you ever seen such a thing? Al Roker and Minions, man. It's just like Comcast is like, all right, we have this whole talent pool. Who's gonna be the guy we send down to be our Minion liaison? And number one instant pick, Al Roker. What is that? Who's making those decisions? Al just likes to rack up frequent flyer miles, and he loves a hotel breakfast, and so he takes any remote assignment from Comcast. They're like, hey Al, you wanna go meet some Minions? It's like, yeah, sure, can I have some of the Minion tater tots? You sure can, Al. It's like, I'll be there.
One time I was in the street, I was in the city, and someone was dressed up like this. Someone was dressed up like this. It was a small child. It was a small child dressed up like this. A small child. Otherwise, I wouldn't have tackled it and broken its rib cage or whatever I did to it. But this time it was dressed up like a Minion. And I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it.